Bienvenidos, welcome. My name is Jaime Alvarez. I'm Assistant Director for First Generation and Latinx Student Outreach at the University of Colorado, Denver. And I'm going to spend some time to talk to you about Latinx CU Denver. So I'm going to talk about Latinx student services, Latinx student clubs and organizations, programs and events, and Latinx social media. And I'm repping my CU Denver Links Loteria t-shirt that I got several years back. I don't know if we make these anymore, but these are really cool, so I wanted to rep this. Latinx Student Services. The mission of Latinx Student Services is to provide an inclusive environment to support the experiences, diverse cultures, and educational goals of Latino students, advocating for the needs of Latino students, providing programs, events, and workshops that raise the awareness about social justice issues that impact the diverse Latino cultures, building community and a sense of belonging for all Latino students, faculty, and staff, and more. And here at the bottom right, is the contact information for Latinx Student Services. And Abenizo Rael is the director of Latinx Student Services. Here's the phone number. His email, I don't know if you can see it. I think my video might be blocking it, but it's abenicio.rael@ucdenver.edu. And when I was a student at CU Denver back in the early 2000s, I spent a lot of time in Latinx Student Services. And several of my really good friends to this day are people that I met back when I was hanging out in Latinx Student Services. So you're going to make lifelong friends when you're hanging out at CU Denver, and especially when you're hanging out in Latinx Student Services. I'm just really grateful for what they helped me with, the services that they provide, the programming, the events that I attended when I was a student, just the camaraderie that I developed with other students, just all the great support that I got from the director of Latinx Student Services, and then from my mentors and other students. So one of the main reasons why I succeeded at CU Denver and graduated was just all the great support that Latinx Student Services provided me. And here's a snapshot of some of the programs and events that are taking place at CU Denver. These are events and programs, virtual events and programs that took place at CU Denver during Latinx Heritage Month, Hispanic Heritage Month. So it started mid-September and then went through early October. But you can just kind of see the different types of programming and events that are taking place. So this was a collaborative effort between CU Denver, Metropolitan State University, and Community College of Denver. But there are programming and events that are taking place all throughout the year. And a lot of them are coordinated through Latinx Student Services at CU Denver. So we have our own programs and events that we're actually coordinating through Latinx Student Services all throughout the year. And then also in March, there's another collaborative effort between CU Denver Metro and CCD, which is the Latinx Student Leadership Symposium, and that takes place in late March. And they offer breakout sessions, keynote speaker, music, and so on. So just as all throughout the year, you have an opportunity of getting involved, attending programming, events, cultural events. There's a Dia de los Muertos event that typically takes place on campus. And so just a great opportunity to get involved in that aspect. And there's always free food at those as well. And here are a few of our Latino student clubs and organizations. So I just want to highlight a few that we have at CU Denver. These aren't all of them, but I just wanted to highlight some that we have. So the first one is the Society of Hispanic Professional Engineers. The acronym is SHIP, SHPE. It's an organization that aims to retain current engineering and STEM-related students through supportive relationships and activities, promote engineering to students strong in the STEM areas, and to provide our members a connection to professional development. The other one is Latinx Student Alliance, LSA. The purpose of LSA is to build a sense of community among Latinx students and empower students on campus to be positive role models. There's the Movimiento Estudiantil Chicano de Aztlán, UMAS Mecha. Mecha consists of students who have dedicated their lives and skills to the advancement and principles of human rights and the needs of the Chicano community. And then at the bottom right is a link to learn about our additional student clubs and organizations. And then I don't know if you have access to that link through this video, but if you go into Google and type in CU Denver and LSA or CU Denver and SHIP, or CU Denver Student Clubs and Organizations, it'll take you to those pages so you can learn more. And then also, if there's a student organization that you're looking for that you don't see, then you definitely have the opportunity of requesting to start a student club or organization. That's how these got started. So all you would need to do is just put together a petition. You would actually go out and have students at CU Denver sign the petition. If you gather enough signatures, then you can go ahead and propose to put in a proposal to start that new student organization. And if it's approved, then you have a new student org. And then CU Denver Latinx social media and videos. We have a Latinx Instagram page that has a lot of really good information. Our Latino students, our student ambassadors, Latino student ambassadors have recorded some videos. They've put in some advice, talked a little bit about themselves, their programs that they're in. So just a lot of really good information. There's student ambassador videos in Spanish, and then one of the videos is from Jocelyn Garcia. But just a variety of different videos that are in Spanish. We have several student ambassadors at CU Denver who speak Spanish. We have our admission Instagram page, and then also you can take a video tour of campus both in Spanish and English. So here are the links to those. So we have one that's guided in Spanish, and we have the other one that's in English. I think we even have one in French as well. I didn't post that link on here. But once again, if you aren't able to access these links through the video, if you go into YouTube, you can type in CU Denver YouTube, CU Denver YouTube Spanish videos, and it should take you to that page. And then with the video tour, you can type in CU Denver video tour, Spanish, English, and it should take you to that page as well. And so next I'm going to show you a video for one of our student ambassadors. Her name is Daisy Bustamante.
Hi guys, welcome back. So today I'm going to talk about tips on finding your major and motivation to keep going. I feel like it's kind of hard, especially since your freshman year, or even like in high school. Like I remember, like, you have to know what you're going to do in college because you only have 4 years to do it, and this and that. And it was, in some way it was true, in some way it wasn't, just because in college it's not like a race to see who finishes in 4 years. No, it's to see, like, to find what you're passionate about, and like to be able to like do something that you love for the rest of your life, because you don't want to do something that someone pressured you to doing, like let's say your parents, and then you're unhappy for the rest of your life. So my first tip is, it's okay to change your major. Firsthand, I was a biochemistry major because I thought I was going to make my parents proud just to become a doctor. And I realized that wasn't for me, just because I hated chemistry and I just didn't like it. And I just didn't see myself as a doctor. So I started talking to people, especially my psych professors, and be like, hey, how did you think, how did you choose to do your major? Like, or I was talking to other people, like, how did you choose? Like, what motivated you? Like, I asked them so many questions, because it's okay to change your major, and I feel like we have to implement this more. It's like, because in my high school, it was like more like, you have to know what you want to do, and this, and that, and I was like, okay, like, I have an idea, but like, they're like, no, you have to know, like, you can't waste your time, and like, no, that's not okay. Like, we have to change that norm and be like, it's okay to change your major. I know some people that change your major like 4 times, and now they're like so happy, and they don't care that they had like longer semesters because they had to like do other classes, you know. The loan is like, don't be afraid to ask your professors how they chose their career paths. So basically, what I did, I started asking everybody I know. Like, I asked my bosses, and they told me like, oh, I have a friend that does this, and like, so then I started getting more and more connected, and that's how I met one of my mentors today. Like, she has helped me so much, to realize what I really want to do, and like we spend sessions on like, okay, like, what do you like to do? And I'm like, okay, well, I want to work with children in a hospital setting, but I don't want to be a nurse, and I don't want to do this. Like, she's like, okay. And then I started to fall more in love with psychology, and psychology was supposed to be my minor, and it became my major, because I just loved how the brain works, and how we are, well, who we are because of our brain and our past experience, and how everything affects everything in life. And yeah, so that's how I chose my path, because I fell in love with something that was something I had a small interest, and it became my main interest. And my last advice is, try to shadow someone already doing what you want to do. I know with COVID it's kind of hard, but COVID isn't gonna last forever. So I feel like getting to the mindset of like reaching out to people. Like I just reached out to a clinic of because I want to be a practical occupational therapist, and I asked like, okay, how did you do? Where you like, what steps did you take to be where you're at? And they're like, okay, like make sure you're doing the prereqs for master school, make sure you're doing this, and then try to get some shadowing. And they're like, because of COVID, we're not accepting shadowing, but once COVID starts going down a bit, we might start allowing shadowing. So I keep emailing back and forth to make sure they keep me in mind for shadowing because I want to make sure that's the career path I want because I know I want to do something in peds, but I don't know exactly what. So being able to see, okay, if occupational therapist for me, maybe I can start like shadowing more and more and maybe getting us like a job there as a main receptionist just to get more contact with patients and stuff like that. So I feel like it's very important for you to realize like, hey, it's okay to change your major. It's okay to take longer in college. It's okay to like ask your professors to see like what they did in order to be what they are because maybe like you have a good connection with your let's say your anatomy professor, but like you don't want to be like a bio major, so you can still ask them like, hey, like what made you be interested in like teaching, or what made you be interested in teaching anatomy, or like and stuff like that. And like even if like maybe you're not interested in that, they're gonna know people that maybe like let's say you want to be architecture, like they'll know people in the architecture field, and like they'll lead you to someone they know, and like maybe they become your mentor. I just feel like the main tip is like try to like just put yourself out there, even if it's with people that you think they might not help you, but like they will at the end of the day. Maybe they might not know the like the reason or anything, but they'll teach like they'll guide you to someone that they might know that will help you. And yeah, those are my tips. If you have any more questions, please feel free to DM us. And yeah,
And here's my contact information. So please feel free to reach out to me with any questions that you have. There's my email, my phone number, and you can even set up a Zoom appointment with me. At the bottom of my contact info is the URL that you can go to schedule a Zoom appointment. I also speak Spanish, so if you prefer to connect with somebody in Spanish, if you have parents that would like to meet with somebody who speaks Spanish, they're more than welcome to reach out to me and either call, email, or set up a Zoom appointment. Thank you so much for attending the CU Denver Latinx presentation, and you have a great day.